After winning 5 straight, the Rangers get swept. This is the Roundup. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Texas Rangers Roundup podcast. I'm RD. Happy Monday to you. Long weekend out there, boys and girls. Long weekend. Like I said, you know, they swept the White Sox. We got a bunch of, and I mentioned this last week, you know, and when I say they swept, they barely beat the absolute worst team in baseball. And then, yeah, they beat the Orioles, and you know, to not get swept by Baltimore. They sweep the White Sox, but like barely, right? I mean, it was like 3-4, 2-3, 1-2. Now, they did open it up in one game with a 10-2 win, and we're feeling great. We're going in the weekend like, here we go. Let's keep the good times rolling. I mentioned it. The Blue Jays were in last place of the AL East, but they're not a bad team. They're sub 500, but they're not that bad. And, yeah, it just pretty much goes to show that, boy, these Rangers need a little bit of help. They went from buying at the trade deadline to might be selling. Don't know what to think yet. I've been kind of watching. They made one move. We'll talk about it later. I don't know what the point of that move was, but it is what it is. Well, let's go ahead and hop into it. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're up in Toronto. As I mentioned, they get swept. Now, the games were rather fun to watch. They were interesting, to say the least. Let's go ahead and take a look at Friday. All right. They lose 5-6 to the Jays. Rangers put up 5 runs on 10 hits, no error. Jays put up 6 runs on 12 hits and no error. Rangers come out swinging as always. First, they score 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. Jays put up 3 in the bottom of the first, and 1 in the fourth, 1 in the seventh, and 1 in the bottom of the ninth. Green gets the win. He's 3-2 with a 1.74 ERA. Spores gets a loss. He's 2-1 with a 3.38 ERA. Your fan and MLB vote for player of the game is Clement, 2 for 5. He had a double, 2 RBIs. And then your top performers. Now, Adolis Garcia got number 1 here. He went 2 for 4, hit a homer, had 3 RBIs and a run. Jimenez went 2 for 3 with a double, a hit by pitch, and RBI. Guerrero Jr., Vladdy Jr., 1 for 2, had 3 walks and a run. Pretty good stuff. When you look at the team comparison here, the only homer of the game was obviously by Adolis Garcia. And then total bases, the Blue Jays had 17 versus the Rangers 13. Jays had the only stolen base of the game. Jays left 10 on versus the Rangers with 8. Again, no errors, clean sheet. Not, like I said, not a bad game, a little bit back and forth. But, I mean, they were tied going into the fourth. You're like, okay, here we go. And then, you know, Jays put that extra run up. They take the lead. And then Rangers counter again. But then they just they tack away. The Jays got 1, and like I said, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 9th. What are you going to do? I don't understand, right? You sit there and we get excited. Hold on one second. There we go. Got some coffee. It's kind of early here, you know. But anyway, you get excited. You know, you're like, okay, another close game. Here we go. Pitching's going to have to shut things down. You have the lead going into the 7th inning. You're up 5-4. And just run here. Get nickel and dimed. It's not even like anything great. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. Another loss, and you're sitting there have to stare in. I don't know. This is what this season has done to me. Speechless. Anyways, so there's a loss. We move on to the next day. Saturday, they lose again, obviously. 7-3 this time. Gosman gets the win. He's 9-8 with a 4.44 ERA. Lorenzen, he's 5-6 with a 3.87 ERA. Rangers come out again. Simeon gets, I think he hit a triple, if I'm not mistaken, in the first inning, and then a wild pitch. And he comes flying home, scores it, opens the game up just like that. And then Blue Jays put up 4 in the first. Rangers counter, throw a little 2 in the third. Blue Jays got 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. That's your ball game. You know, Rangers had 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Blue Jays 7 runs on 15 hits and no errors. Absolute just destruction. Player of the game and your top performers are all Blue Jays, so who cares? Only homer of the game was by the Jays. Total bases 23-7 in favor of the Blue Jays. 3 stolen bases for the Blue Jays, none for the Rangers. Jays had 11 left on. Rangers had 4. No errors, clean sheet. You know, there's some hits out there, but, I mean, you're not going to win a lot of games putting up 3 runs, especially on 4 hits. The Sticks just couldn't get going. I don't know. You got a hit here or there. Nothing to really report on this game. Now, I will say this. You know what? I think that was Sunday's game. I'm going to talk about that next. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But anyways, so another close game, or not that as close, but they played close enough. What the hell is this? What throws me off is when they have the same score for back-to-back games. So I'm like, no way, and yes way. Sunday afternoon, trying to enjoy a little time by the pool, maybe a cold beer or 2. And yeah, it was pretty much total domination. You were holding on, just like, okay, the bats are going to wake up eventually, right? This thing didn't even get going out of the gate. John Gray, he leaves his start early due to a right groin discomfort. He didn't even throw a pitch. So it is what it is. What are you going to do? So anyhow, Rangers lose 3-7 again. Barrios gets the win. He's 9-8 with a 3.93 ERA. Hernandez gets the loss. He's 3-1 with a 5.05 ERA. Pop gets a save. It's his first of the year. He's got a 5.46 ERA. Jays come out, put up 3 in the first, 3 in the third, 1 in the sixth. Rangers don't score until the sixth. They put up 1, and they add 2 more in the eighth, and that's it. That's your ball game. Absolute destruction. I will say this: your player of the game and top performers are mostly Blue Jays. Lorenzen did get a top performer nod here. He threw 4 innings, only gave up 3 hits, a 1 earned run, had a strikeout. He came in, I thought he did pretty well. You know what I mean? Especially in the situation. Let's look at the comparison here. Blue Jays had 2 home runs versus the Rangers 1. 17 total bases versus the Rangers 15. Only stolen base was by the Rangers. Rangers left 8 on versus 4 for the Jays, and they had the lone error. So there you go. 3 games, just getting. I mean, yeah, they got paddled Saturday and Sunday. There's no way. They kept it close on Friday, but they still lost. That's 3 in a row. This is kind of a terrible spot to be doing that as well, just because of what you needed. Let's take a look at the standings. We'll chat about that real quick. And I think as they were losing that game where I was at Pluckers, and I'm like, okay, well, the Dodgers are up on the Astros like 5 or 6-0. All of a sudden, they're walking it off. It's like, what the hell's going on? So anyways, let's take a look at the West. Astros in first place. They're 55-50 with a 5.25 or 5.24 win percentage at 30-22 at home. Why am I going down that? It doesn't matter. Who cares? The Mariners are tied with them, but they have 1 more loss. They're 56-51. So they're back to being even. Rangers are 4.5 games back. They were so damn close a couple days ago, but they are still under 5 games back. Rangers are 51-55 with a 4.81 win percentage. They're 29-23 at home, 22-32 on the road. What did I say before I started this series? That away win percentage was terrifying, and they stay on the road. They're right now breaking even in the runs scored, runs allowed. They're on a current 3-game losing streak, and they're 5-5 in their last 10. There you go. It's either you're going to go and get maybe the ground's supposed to be back. Your pitching isn't bad. It's like the hitting, the vibe, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what's going on with these guys. They sometimes can put up 10 runs. Sometimes they put up 3, But, it doesn't get any easier. Let's just be honest. They're still on the road. They have a 3-game series against the Cardinals. They start today at 6:45. So today, tomorrow, both 6:45, and then Wednesday's a day game at 1:15, and then they get to come home for a little bit. Not for an easy series, not an easy 2 series. You know what I mean? They got the Red Sox and the Astros, so we'll see how it goes. Here's your starting lineup, or not lineup, but probable pitchers for the next 3 games. We are going to start on this. This series is perfect for us. If you look at these, the matchups, right? So tonight, 6:45, you got Nathan Eovaldi hitting the bump. He's 7-4 with a 3.31 ERA, 104 strikeouts. Going up against Andre Palante. He's a righty. He's 4-4 with a 3.92 ERA. And then, awesome, right? You got your ace starting a series. And we go to Tuesday. Another great pitcher. Max Scherzer has done his job. Tuesday, like I said, 6:45. Scherzer's on it. He's 2-3 with a 3.57 ERA. Going up against Lance Lynn. He's a righty. He's 5-4 with a 4.17 ERA and 94 strikeouts. And then here, Heen Dog's hitting it on Wednesday. Let's go, right? 3 solid pitchers right there, ready for the taking. anyways, it's a day game, 115. Heaney's 4-10, doesn't get any run support ever. He's got a 3.77 ERA and 105 strikeouts. Going up against Sonny Gray. He's a righty, 10-6, 3.79 ERA, 138 strikeouts. So there is some good pitching. I wouldn't be surprised if these are all low-scoring games. Both teams are under 4 runs possibly. But yeah, you want to take a look at the stand, or we'll talk a little bit about the Cardinals real quick. They're in second place in the Central. They're 54-51 with a 5.14 win percentage. They're 6 games back on Milwaukee. They're above 500 at home, 27-24. Not terrible, right? I mean, it's good. They're above 500 for them. Good for them. But yeah, Rangers have got to do something. They've got to get their ass in gear on this road trip here. They got good pitching to back them up. They are facing some rather difficult pitching, but you got to. The time is now. And then, again, the trade deadline is Tuesday at 6 p.m. That's Eastern time, 5 p.m. here in Texas. But anyhow, they made one trade so far, I believe. What the hell did I do with that thing? I think I removed it. I'm like, because it was like, I read it. I go, what the hell is the point of this? So yesterday, Rangers acquire Carson Kelly from the Tigers for 2 prospects. Yeah, that's it. They're just getting another catcher. He's not hitting anything, not doing anything good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel good about it. And here's something else not to feel that great about it, or feel that great about, is Evan Carter is shut down for baseball activities. He's getting a second opinion on his back. He's supposed to visit a specialist in California. He's done. Until they get the second opinion, they can figure out what's going on for his step. So lower back, that's terrible news. Now, I mean, TBD would be the best thing for, how you're going to, when he's coming back. Josh Young, let's talk about him a little bit. He was in Frisco this weekend. I didn't get a chance to make it out there. For some reason, all of a sudden, I went from having nothing to do to we're booked, like day and night. I'm like, oh, my God. And so didn't get a chance to get out there and watch him. But first pitch, I'm pretty sure it was his first pitch. He singles to left center or whatever. So he's obviously back. I don't know when he's going to actually make it back to. I don't think he's going to hit this road trip. I think he's going to be on the homestand though. Yeah. You know what? Let's see. I'm trying to determine the steps. Okay. Yeah, I think they're going to figure out if they're going to rehab him or have another series in AAA or return to the majors. I think since we haven't heard anything and the Rangers are already on the road, they're going to wait till he gets home, or wait till they get home, obviously. But yeah, just a rough weekend for them. And they have a tough week ahead of them. And if you really want to look just a little bit further in advance, again, I mentioned, they get a day off on Thursday. They've been going like running and gunning for a little while now. So they get a day off to travel back to Arlington. And then they have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Red Sox, right? And they're no slouch. They're right now third in the AL West, or AL East, excuse me. And that's with a 55-49 record. It's just a really tough division. And Yankees are making a run at Baltimore right now. They're essentially tied. Yankees have 2 more losses, though, but the same amount of wins. But after that, then you're hosting the Astros, man. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I mean, it's here Wednesday. I might have to go to that. It's a day game. Wednesday's a day game. I might have to pop out and see what's up. I hate Astro fans, though. They're so annoying. Like, when was the last time you ran into, like, a normal, even killed, not obnoxious Astros fan? Maybe I only see him, like, no. I ran into one in, like, a bar one time. And he was just mouthing off for no reason. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You're in Dallas. This ain't Houston. Get up, dog. It's crazy. I don't know. Maybe that's how they feel about, like, Ranger fans or something like that. There's some bad blood there. The way it is. So, got a bad, tough stretch. And if you want to peel the curtain back just a little bit more, then they got to hit the road to play the Yankees. And then the Red Sox again. It's tough. They got tough. This August is going to be a terrible month. Now, you do end August against the White Sox and Athletics. But if you've already lost like 15 games, it ain't going to matter. Oh, buddy. Come on. Let's stay positive. Should have some really good, or at least really good, fun pitching games, low scoring. I'm going to have a little pitching duel tonight and tomorrow. But, if we can snag at least 1 win out of this, maybe 2. Oh, God. Hope I pop back up on Thursday, give you a little preview, or we'll recap the Cardinals games. and then preview the Sox and the Rangers. Follow me on X at TX Rangers Pod, and then at Texas Rangers Roundup Podcast on YouTube for some shorts. Y'all have a great week. Happy Monday to you. And you know what? Let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers!
Thanks for listening to Roundup.